thanks to my Ko-fi supporters that make these videos possible. You can also get a deck review on my weekly Tuesday and Sunday streams. It's the best way to support the channel. Hello everyone. I've been really struggling to write anything recently. Every time I start a script, it just immediately explodes. So I'm going to maybe just not write a script this time around. Anyway, talking about the video, I used to play Commander a lot differently. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I mostly just played with random people because I didn't really have an established play group of friends or anything like that. And that's a perfect 1-2 punch of playing with random people and not being noteworthy so people don't change their behavior around you to get a lot of really salty games. My old game store was generally pretty salty. One time someone yelled at me for blowing up their fucking Yava Maya. They were playing Eladamri, by the way, original Eladamri that gives all elves forest walk. And I blew up their land with Volcanic Offering, and they just couldn't let that stand. They were really mad about me blowing up their land. I've seen people threaten to jump someone outside. Well, there's one guy threatened to jump someone outside because he thought that the other person stole his twinning staff, which at the time was a $2 card. So I don't know who's going around stealing that. I think today it's a little bit more expensive, right? Let me look it up on Scryfall. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's $20 now. Whoa, that would be a heist for sure. Anyway, but there's one game that really stands out in my mind, because at the end of the day, the game store was fine for the most part. There was some sprinkling of salt, but overall, it was never that bad back in California. I think the worst game of Commander I've ever played, though, was on SpellTable. SpellTable is legitimately just the Wild West of awful EDH games. And oh my god, this game was so bad. I legitimately don't remember most of it. I don't know if it's because of repression or not. I forgot what I was playing. I think it was Safara Skysblade, my mono-white flying deck. Anyway, the one moment that stands out the most in my mind was that this entire game, these people were salting off. If you tried to remove anything, they would get really mad at you. And then I flash out an Aven Mind Sensor, and all hell breaks loose. One person starts interrogating me why I think I find this card fun. And then the second player after them in turn order was just this person that was just repeating on a broken loop, like a record, going I'll scoop if that resolves, I'll scoop if that resolves, I'll scoop if that resolves, I'll scoop if that... Keep in mind, this is a bracket 3 game. This was back before brackets were a thing, but it was oh, 7 out of 10 chill. That's the keyword. Never join a lobby that says chill EDH games. You're gonna meet the most insane people ever. Anyway, that game was legitimately just so wrong on 12 million different levels, and it made me want to explode and die. I don't think I've played SpellTable since. But anyway, I don't get games like this anymore, mostly just because I only play with friends when I do play Commander, and when I do play Commander out with random people, it's because I'm at a convention and these people know who I am. And so they're kind of just nice to me in general. So I have a very privileged position when it comes to getting into EDH pods, I guess. This is something low-key I actually kind of miss. I miss encountering the weird salt lords of the world. So I went ahead and asked my Discord to talk about it. I think these stories are a lot of fun to share, because we've all met that guy. We've all had an EDH game where it's just gone so sour. And I think there's something kind of fun about exploring all that. So let's get reading the viewer responses. By the way, join the Discord if you want to participate in videos like this. All right, let's go. Starting with 1/1 Corsa Crucive Mage Offspring, aka I Was Red. Once I was playing a game with this awful brother duo that took ages to act and always killed each other last. One, it was a Cloud X soldier player, and I dared destroy his indestructible granting equipment. He nuked me for 50 commander damage with lifelink and double strike. I soon became glad I got out of the game because due to a single stuffy doll, the game would go on okay between the brothers for 3.5 hours, with over 250 life gained by the Cloud player. Moreover, I'm 50% sure both brothers were trying to hide their homophobia because it wasn't outwardly acceptable in the space, but they acted weird around me and the other gay guys. The other brother slammed 200-ish power Tifa into my face in a 7-player game on turn 4 to 5. 7-player game, ew! And that game went on for 5 hours because of the Child of Alara board wipe / God tribal deck, and the other 2 decks, and 2 goat decks rather. Yeah, I don't play in that LGS anymore. Okay, there's a million things wrong here. 7-player commander game is already throwing me for a fucking loop. That is killing me. The homophobia is funny. Okay, I feel really bad because in some way I relate to these brothers where, like, if I join a pod with someone that I already know, they are now a known evil, right? I know what their deck does and what I need to fear from them. So that typically, like, just by happenstance makes me more aggressive to the other 2 decks that are at the table because they're unknown evils most of the time. Like, I don't know what their deck does, so I'm probably gonna use my removal more heavily on them than my friend, because my friend might have, like, a damage doubler in play, but I know that that damage doubler is only there to, like, do this and that with this specific card, which he doesn't have because it's in the graveyard, right? Like, because you have more info about one deck, it makes you less likely to be interactive towards it because you know what is actually a threat and what isn't, versus like what plays you can let stay in play, even though it does look kind of threatening to someone who doesn't know the deck, right? Still, oh my god. 7-player commander game with a Child of Alara board wipe deck. Oh, if you're doing a 7-player game, you should have like all burn decks, right? Am I crazy? I mean, just don't do a 7-player commander game. Don't even do a 5-player commander game. I'm always very hesitant to start those anyway. Anyway, thanks for the laughs. Okay, this one's actually funny with no awkward twist. 6-6 for 6, aka Kirokudo. I think that's how you pronounce that. My friend loved Darksteel Forge in our extremely stally old bracket 2 games, so I found Wave of Vitriol to make him sacrifice them all. Only after I played it do I realize that it makes you sack non-basic lands too. Guess who only had 3 basics in their deck? Literally Armageddon myself to spite a friend. 10 out of 10 would do again. It's so cool. I love Wave of Vitriol so much. I do think it's mean, but it is a funny ass card. Jace's Mind Sculptor, aka Gemini the Fulf, says, playing in a 4-player pod, 2 members of the pod were just reconnecting after a near breakup. No, wait, stop. Both brought out their strongest and a newer deck I just built. Majority of the game was just bickering, mostly the 2-headed giant commander before I lucked out with the win. And one of the partners was complaining about how much I win with my decks and I don't get others a chance to win. Okay, I know you're in the right, because what insane people they reconnect after a near breakup and their first thought is, I'm going to play Commander, a game that makes me salt off. This is insane. What? Who? I'm just in horror right now. That's so scary. People are like that? Anyway, moving on to Leo Dragon. Please give me a good palate cleanser here. Dude kept watching shorts on his phone mid-game and could not pay attention for more than a game phase or 2. Ooh. Eventually got to the point that the table stopped reminding him of his turns or actions because it gets old after about the 5th time of reminding this guy to pay attention to the game rather than his phone. Well, eventually someone cast a wipe and it resolved, which did hit this guy's board. He got mad on his next turn when we informed him and pulled a whole, well, I would have countered it routine. I would have been up for it, but clearly was not paying attention, and it had been 2 other turns since then. TLDR, pay attention and stay off your phone, it's rude. Yeah, I mean, that's just, wow. I don't know how someone could be so uninvested from a game that they don't notice a fucking board wipe resolving. Because everyone's scooping up their fucking creatures and putting them in the graveyard. Surely you go like, what are you doing right now? Even if you're not paying attention. How is that possible? I want this guy's YouTube Shorts feed. It sounds great. Moving on, we have 1-5. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your username. I'm so sorry. Oh god, I've had so many of these. I'm just going to say one of the most mild ones. I'm excited. Let's see. Playing with a guy who once specifically said before the game started that we should play lower power decks to ease into the games, and we can play higher power ones later. So he pulls out his Emil the Blessed Selesnya Blink. Cool. On turn 5, he plays a Workhorse with Emil out and declares he has infinite mana. Now this guy specified lower power, so I was taken aback by this and asked to see the cards he was trying to go infinite with. I informed this guy that his combo does not in fact produce infinite mana, as in order to net 1 mana with Emil, he would need to remove every counter from the Workhorse, in which case it would die before the ability resolves. Okay, I'm tracking so far. He presses that it is in fact infinite and starts insulting my intelligence. He proceeded to shove the phone in my face where he got the combo, and it literally said the result of the combo was just infinite blinks, not mana. He had no way to benefit off this. He angrily gets up from the table and does the same song and dance with a judge and comes back and admits I was right and leaves. But not before calling me ableist slurs and threatening me in front of his own children. What? Wait! This is crazy! This dude's not in a prison cell. This is a normal person that we share reality with. He was wrong and then just started fucking, oh my God! Over a Commander game? These people need to get lives. What the hell? In front of his own children. I just can't believe it. Okay, that one was really good. 2-4 Spider with Reach says Haragast, but it's a thief deck is one of my favorites right now. My most unique commander is probably Mono Green Jedit. What is that in response to? I asked for Magic the Gathering horror stories. Oh my God. Come to my Twitch channel to get free mod. Legitimately, that's so powerful. Just talking about your decks. Okay, Dralgo says, oh God, Elk, I'm famous for horror stories. These better be good or I'm gonna be fucking mad. Xenos CA Gavalis is hell at my LGS. The way it plays out is that a player gets targeted, goes players B and C now do what I say or concede and the Xenos player wins. Worst of all, they find it fucking hilarious, so they just keep going. It turns into a 3v1 where a player makes B and C kill themselves so they can 1v1. This sucks. When the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. Yeah, wow. So they can just concede and that's so meta. This sucks. That makes me frown. Next up by PF987, who says, this hellscape of a commander point sheet at my other LGS, they do not allow any proxies and are extremely strict about it, and they tried to pull this shit during this silly Pride event, which resulted in me not going and forgoing the promo. The other store got it, so I did still get one, but still. And this isn't even for proper rewards, bragging rights to IIRC. I do think some of them are interested hating Thoracle and early kills, but some are insane, scooping, which I can provide a screenshot for as well. It just seems very hostile play environment. What's supposed to be casual fun. God forbid someone take 2 5-minute turns because they aren't super experienced, / scoop because they're not having fun and want to go next. Let's read these. -4 points for winning with Thassa's Oracle. Okay. Fast bond -1 for each play, not each turn. Play more than 2 lands or cast more than 2 mana rocks in the same turn. Cast more than 2 mana rocks in the same turn is totally fair. What the fuck? Do they ban Sisay's Ring? What are they talking about with that? That's for each play, not each turn. What? Mind control. Take control of another turn more than once. Okay, those can be mean effects. I can understand wanting to have a house rule banning those. But okay. Eternal Dominion, take multiple 5-minute turns or take more than 2 extra turns in a game. Okay, that one's weird. I don't take multiple 5+ minute turns. Someone new to the game might do that later in the game, especially if it gets to turn 9 or whatever. Nature's Wrath, destroy or exile non-utility land controlled by an opponent. What? So you can't blow up lands except for I guess you can blow up utility lands. I mean, this one's just never triggering at a normal bracket 3 game, I guess. Johnny combo player, -2 doubled if before turn 10. Loop a combination more than 5 times in a single turn. I don't know. Combos are an important part of EDH to me. If you don't like them, that's fine. Just ban them. Legitimately, just ban them at a certain point. This is such a weird half measure to do. Sudden spoiling -4. Eliminate a player before their 5th turn. I mean, that's just bracket 3 rules. I don't know. That one's weird. Deny reality. Scooping to prevent another player from getting points. Okay, it's specifically for getting points, I guess. But I don't like this point system at all. Island of Wak Wak. Check here if you've been voted out of the game. X+1, the number of, what? Notes. And there's a bunch of notes. Don't do this. No one's going to show up to your game store. Legitimately. It's so weird. Oh, there's clarification screenshots. Oh my God, wait. Breaking news update. So it's counted as malicious whenever you scoop ever? Yes, because it's always malicious. If you scoop, then someone cannot get the points from eliminating you at the very least. What? This point system sucks? You can't scoop? Dude, there's some games of Commander where it's correct to scoop. If it's 1v1 and you're both chipping each other for 3 damage and you have 1 card and they have 12, you're not allowed to scoop that game? Why don't they just get points for being the #1 winner? What? This game store needs to be shut down. Moving on, we have 3-4 Wizard with Flying, 13-player Plane Chase Round Table. Oh no, 13-player. This was how an actual LGS in the Midwest ran its commander night for the better part of a year. Not enough players for a full store, not enough care from the owner to design a play area beyond one table. Plane Chase was brought out one night. The game lasted from 6 p.m. to 3 in the morning. Every board wipe was met with pain sighs across the store. People begged for my Felidar solver to end the game, but then it was removed. Somebody decked out naturally. There was a 30-minute stretch when we were all stuck on the Eldrazi plane. It's a miracle I still play Magic after that night, truth be told. This is what hell looks like. 13-player Plane Chase Commander game that someone decked out naturally. That's probably the worst one I've heard, ever. Yeah, there's no beating that one. I'll just stop it there. Wow, that's insane. Anyway, thank you for listening to these horror stories. Hop in the Discord if you want to share yours in future when I do this video again, maybe, or do other videos that require audience participation. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye. I need some spice. There's no spice here.